Welcome to the Columbus School Teacher Continuum. Today you'll recall the what, why, and how of the TCS Teacher Continuum, and you'll consider and self-assess how your assessment practices drive learning conversations and authentic assessment in your classroom. The Teacher Continuum is a self-evaluation tool for teachers to reflect and evaluate their practice that is based on research from Stanford University and was developed with the input of teachers, team leads, department heads, and members of the leadership team from all levels of our school. You can use the continuum to reflect on your growth and teaching process throughout the year. The continuum forms part of your professional appraisal process. The continuum is meant to encourage continuous growth. This helps us stay aligned with the way that we want our students to learn at TCS. The Teacher Continuum has 6 major topics, with various subtopics allowing for reflection on different points. The goal in all of the major topics of the Teacher Continuum is to create environments where students have more agency. The arrows on each of the topics indicate a shift from left to right, moving from a more teacher-controlled environment to a classroom where students have more agency. This is done through a system of gradual release. The full document of the Teacher Continuum can be found in the TCS Teaching and Learning Handbook. The 6 topics of the Teacher Continuum are all mutually supportive. Classroom culture and classroom systems create a foundation that sets the environment of the classroom up for success. Standards provide us with the framework of skills and content for our students to participate in rigorous and aligned learning experiences during their time at TCS. With the framework of the standards in mind, we have information about how to build a learning culture in our classroom, how to create assessments that cause learning and provide evidence of what students are learning and have learned, and opportunities for how we can meaningfully incorporate technology to enhance the learning experience. Positively impacting student outcomes as a result of the continuum is even more likely when you build off the strengths of fellow teachers in your teams, departments, and schools in order to take collective action. There are not specific topics on the Teacher Continuum for collaboration and alignment, however, they are professional expectations. We'll now move into Topic 5, Assessment. Please keep the following definitions in mind as you move through the subtopics. Assessment is defined as anything a teacher does or uses to collect evidence of learning. This could include observations, interviews, conferring, performance tasks, and tests. Evaluation is the moment where the teacher uses a body of evidence from student assessments to qualify and report what a student knows and can do. The first subtopic of assessment is relevance and authenticity. Please take a moment to pause the video and read the criteria from left to right. In environments closer to the right side of the continuum, relevance and authenticity might look like a student in early years art working with colors, textures, and geometric shapes to design a mural for the school community. A second grader creating a short information book about their favorite topic. A middle school student's math project showing their peers how to do something more efficiently at home or at school using math measurements. Or a high school student working as part of the robotics team, designing team t-shirts and promotional materials while another student codes and tests the robot. The second subtopic is purpose of assessment. Take a moment to read the criteria from left to right. In an environment closer to the right side of the continuum, this might look like the student reflecting every other week on their new learning through an exit ticket, a student discussing next steps for their project with the teacher while looking at a rubric or checklist, peers giving each other their opinions on what pieces of work would be best for a portfolio of learning, or a student in music class recording themselves learning to play a new song and then listening to that recording with the teacher in order to learn where to apply new techniques. The third subtopic is student voice. Take a moment to read the category from left to right. In an environment closer to the right side of the continuum, this might look like students giving opinions on how they want to celebrate and show their learning for the unit culmination. Students choosing a relative to interview and record as part of their family history project. Students taking a survey to share what's helping them learn best in math class and what they would change. Or students in journalism class contributing to the paper by writing different pieces about what is happening in the school community. The fourth subtopic is student choice. Take a moment to read the criteria from left to right. In an environment closer to the right side of the continuum, this might look like students choosing the best book for independent reading. One might have a butterfly picture book, while another has a pattern book about colors. Students choosing between making step-by-step slides or a poster with different strategies for solving a math problem. It might look like one group of students in English class creating a companion tool for one book, and another student that prefers to work alone creating a companion tool for a different book. Or one student proposing their product for a Sociales project as a podcast, while another proposes that they'd like to do a written report. It's important to note that some subject areas, standards, and units do not allow complete choice on output or product. For example, in an elementary school writing unit, the output and product would both need to be written work. The fifth subtopic is use of data. Please take a moment to read the criteria from left to right. In an environment closer to the right side of the continuum, this might look like students taking a math pre-assessment and then participating in one of 3 targeted groups based on their level. Students filling out an exit ticket on types of government, and the teacher deciding to make a review lesson on the 2 types of government that students had a hard time giving examples of. Or students using a map testing goal setting and reflection sheet before the map test and again on map testing day. The sixth subtopic is feedback and evaluation. Take a moment to read the criteria from left to right. In an environment closer to the right side of the continuum, this might look like students getting immediate feedback from the PE teacher to improve their throwing techniques. The teacher breaking persuasive essay writing into 5 lessons and giving written feedback twice in the formative period before grading the final essay. Or student teams meeting with the teacher each week to show how their work is meeting the rubric criteria for a science project checkpoint. The final subtopic for assessment is equitable practices for all learners. Take a moment to read the criteria from left to right. In an environment closer to the right side of the continuum, this might look like a student that has higher proficiency in English writing about the solar system in English, while another student shows their science knowledge in Spanish. A teacher grading a student's Sociales presentation on a region of Colombia based on the geography standards, but providing them with a small list of ways to use accent marks in the region and state names correctly. Or on a math test, the teacher has already made some language modifications to make the questions more understandable. Additionally, based on their learning needs, one student gets help with dictation and another one uses a visual glossary of geometric shapes. Thank you for doing the module on assessment of the TCS Teacher Continuum. Now it's time to take the reflection survey. Have a great day.